Coming up here, Circle the Debate Podcast, episode 47. As we go ahead and discuss, oh my God, I don't even know what he's wearing. And here at episode 47, part one, ladies and gentlemen, we will recap this past week's AEW Dynamite, and also giving shout outs as well to NWA and one of our other fellow brothers. Also, we got AEW news, pro wrestling news on part one. Part two, there's Matt right there. Hellboy right there. In part two, we will be discussing the New Japan news, this past week's NXT, and also our thoughts about Fastlane and more. So don't go anywhere as part one starts ahorita. Welcome, everyone, to the Circle of Debate Podcast, episode number 47, 47. There you go, 47. 47, yes. This is the host, Stevie's one, Ivan C. Here with my family, La Facción Ingobernable, La Facción West, the Generation West. That's right, I'm with El Director, the director, the one who has to tell you, hey, don't go anywhere, don't move, stay there. That's the one and only CK1, Chris Trent. There you go.
Hey, I've never brought this up. Here's my camera right here.
There you go. And also we have, he's not a hatter today. He's one of those characters from Hellboy. He looks like Dr. Robotnik. I mean, Jesus, with a shower cap. Sometimes I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he wears a mat with a hat. He is Mr. Hammond GC, Matthew Callis, Steamboat Hardy, whatever you want to call it. And there you have it. All right.
I wasn't sure if this would be more ridiculous, though.
It just looks like you're about to go like to a gun range.
It looks like
I gotta protect my hair from the gunpowder.
Oh my God! So the hair won't, fly out. Oh, it won't damage my hair in the air.
Yeah.
All right, but before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and give a congratulations for this past weekend for NWA back for the attack. A great pay-per-view. If you guys missed it, go back to Fight TV. And also, now the return of NWA Power also as well. So it was great to see also Slice Boogie with NWA that we previously had on the show. And also, I want to also congratulate as well on AEW Dark Elevate to Radioactive Papi. That is Danny Limelight for getting his win on this past Monday on Dark Elevate. And I still want to give a shout out to Paul White. Mi gente. Also, Paul White's doing an incredible job. He's still kind of a little bit okay, but his commentary is it's getting there. It's getting better. And I loved it. I loved it very much. So, all right. Now let's go ahead and discuss this past week's AEW Dynamite. So let's go ahead and recap. Let's start with the opening match. And that is, of course, by God, Kenny Omega defeating Matt Sydal. I could say that was an incredible match. I actually enjoyed it. So I'm going to go with Matt Callis because that's his guy right there. So you started off, Mr. Matt Callis. Your thoughts about the opening match? Talk to us, baby.
Well, of course, the history with Kenny Omega. Like, Kenny Omega and Matt Sydal actually faced off previously in New Japan. And that for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. So you really get to see kind of how Kenny Omega faces the same opponents, but knows how to recreate it and make it fresh every single time he faces the same person. And hopefully we could see that down the line when he, I got my fingers crossed when he faces Ibushi. Because, like, the way he faces Matt Sydal compared to the way he faces, like, one match. It's like his other match with Hangman Page. You know, completely different from the way it was in New Japan's whole different atmosphere, storyline wise. But yeah.
But don't
Sorry,
forget,
I got a cold sore in my mouth. So,
but don't forget that they also battled each other out. I think Battle of LA and PWG as well. I think that was like 2017, 2018. No, 2017.
They have a long history.
They have a long history together. I mean, but it was a great match overall. Director, talk to us about your thoughts about the opening match.
Oh, it was a good match. Great opener. Goddamn. They really came out with a 3-star match that could have been a main event for some reason. I think maybe they wanted to set the precedent for the storyline for the rest of the episode. I liked the banter. All the banter was very clever. The inexperienced younger Matt Sydal, who is older and has been wrestling longer than Kenny Omega, was the joke. And they've had multiple matches before. I thought that was really funny. A couple of quick roll-ups where I think I keep wanting to call him Evan Bourne because I keep forgetting that he used to be Evan Bourne. Matt Sydal escaped the One-Wing Angel in like a surprise roll-up, and it was like, I was like, oh, they did it. They fucking gave him the win. He's got the title shot. I was like, I convinced myself it happened, and then it didn't happen. Yeah, I love that that was the opening match, and they made it look like Sydal almost had it in the bag.
Yeah.
It was, then the ending was just Kenny walking to the back, right? That wasn't the big issue with
No.
That wasn't that later. Okay, so
No.
yeah, I liked it. It was good. It was I don't want to say it was fresh or original because AEW as its whole is kind of fresh and original, but it was a good, not jobber out match. They didn't squash them at all.
No, it was
so much story.
Yeah, it was so much story. Definitely.
It's one of those like indie darling matches where like if you know about their history and like you mentioned the PWG history, then there's so much more layers to the match itself. But as someone new to the sport or to the company or to even those wrestlers, you should have been entertained by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I was entertained with JR's commenting, like just going up on Callis over here. That was what I was like, you work for him. What are you talking about? What do you mean? No, I work for Impact. No, you work for him. He pays you to be here.
Yeah. I love
Oh
that
my
group.
God. JR was just going off on Don
Aggressive
Callis.
JR's back.
It made me also realize that like it's almost like Schiavone is the color guy. And JR and Excalibur are kind of the play-by-play guys. Like, there's really not a assigned role for any of them. They're all kind of play-by-play, and they're all kind of the color guys. Where in traditional sports broadcasting, it's one of one, and one guy does one thing, one guy does the other thing.
Right.
But yeah, it was that where I finally realized. Well, Don didn't count. I was just talking about the primary triples.
Not Callis, bro. Not your Don Callis. He does not count. He does not count.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I did like the diversity. I mean, that's what they have, at least in the commentating. At least they're very diverse. It could be one time Tony Schiavone and Excalibur could, be play by play, and JR will be colored. There's times that has happened. So I mean, but that for like JR was on fire that for sure on that commentating. I enjoyed it. So I was classic, instant classic from good old JR. I can tell you that. All right, and then we see a quick squash match, unfortunately, and that is Adam Hangman Page beating Cesar Bononi. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with Cesar Bononi. Obviously, he was a former NXT alumni. He's been on Dark and Dark Elevate. I want to go to you, director. Are you by far have you been seeing Bononi as he's seeing him now more often on TV time? Are you impressed with him, or do you feel like he lacks something still? Or what do you feel about Bononi at this point in his career?
I mean, he's moving up inside of the AEW roster, I guess you could say. I know he had a couple matches on Dark, and usually your inauguration to the Dynamite show is jobbing out to somebody pretty quickly, which is a WWE formula, unfortunately. They call it enhancement talent, which is what you usually have to go through before you become someone who's a staple in the roster. We saw that 2 weeks ago with Cody and what's his name, and I know we've seen it before in AEW. But usually those people that come up and do a quick job match stick around a little bit. So I don't know how they want to use him outside of just enhancement talent for Paige. We'll see if he shows up on Dynamite next week and maybe gets a win against an equally ranked opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems to be the trend. It's very traditional. Go from, Dynamite, or go from Dark, couple matches on Dark, main roster. I guess we're calling Dynamite the main roster. Fuck, man, I hope not. I don't want that curse. Don't you do that to me, Ricky Bobby. You don't do that.
They bounce back and forth, so
yeah.
Rather than being separate worlds.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see next week if he shows up. Maybe if he has a bigger opponent on Dark and he wins and does well. Obviously, his quality wrestling is never in question. Right. I think they're obviously just, testing their newly polished toy in front of the bigger lights.
Yeah.
They're not using it to like bury him, which is a main roster thing. So we'll see what they have planned for him. And then Paige, officially until he hasn't done this yet, but looks like he's in the Dark Order, like almost officially.
Oh, almost,
besides
right?
wearing the fucking shirt and putting on some face paint or something. Yeah.
Yes, right. Matt Steamboat, your thoughts about Benoni?
No, there isn't enough, big guy baby faces. The last time we had a big guy baby face that we introduced was Will Hobbs, and then they turned him heel like in 2 weeks. So I kind of hope they keep Cesar Benoni as a baby face, like a bit, your bigger guy, singles powerhouse, kind of like up against, like Cesar Benoni versus like any of the smaller heels would be really interesting. So I hope they kind of continue that dynamic, because I don't see that dynamic enough.
The dynamic he has is just partnering up with Peter Avalon, and it's a good heel faction. I like it. It's just, I feel there's a couple of matches that he needs to. He was kind of green, but especially with the Luchasaurus one, that was, my God, but I don't want to get into that. But I feel that Benoni, great physique, great charisma he has. I feel that he still has a little more improvement to go, and hopefully, like how CK1 said, down the line he'll get more, get better, develop more, and get learn from Paul White also as well. That's why he's there for a reason, So teaching the big man, teaching the big buff man, and then also we did see Britt Baker's promo. Telling you all. Thanks, Mick Foley, for the thumbs up.
I know, God damn it.
It took you 20 years to be a hardcore legend, and it took me one night to be a hardcore legend. Wow. So, man, I'll go to you, Matt Callis. Your thoughts about this promo. And let me recap, and I apologize. I want to recap what we spoke last week. We did say that this match made her completely, she is next online to get that title shot or even win the AEW Women's title. But definitely this one, that's it. It made it. So, go ahead, Matt Callis. Tell me your thoughts about that promo.
It's kind of like, you could say that's like her Austin 316. They've got like a new shirt out with the DMD in the AEW font, and I thought that shirt's really cool. I'm really liking, like, no matter what, no heel should ever be humble. I don't like it when heels are humble. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You should always think you're the best ever, better than everybody, putting down. That's the whole point. Otherwise you kind of miss the point. It's like, no, I can never be as great as that. Like, well, you're not a heel then. I can never. All the people that are getting mad at that really don't understand how it works. It's just like Kenny Omega when he's saying he's better than all these people on Impact, and like, that's the point. He's the champion, he's the heel, and the champion's always the best. The champion is supposed to be the best in the business, in that world,
right?
So
definitely.
So and especially with Britt Baker, she ain't going for second place or minding her own space. She's going for number one constantly.
100%. Director, do you agree with that?
Yeah, that was a lifetime of a promo. That was so fantastic. Yeah, I said it. I don't like saying, I said it last week because who knows who watched last week, but like, she got, it's unfortunate that it was a loss. It was a loss, but I think that she earned more fans in that loss. In like her interview, like this promo said, like, if you didn't respect me then, you're dumb, essentially. So respect me now. And I definitely think she did that. And I mean, she's so good on the mic. She's just so she's like 8 MGF as far as like how good she is on the mic at such a young age, and how much of a heel she is, and she knows exactly what to say to be hated. I know when she first showed up in AEW, she apparently was judged for her lack of mic skills, and then something flipped where she is now like one of the best on the mic in modern times. I don't know if that was acting school, if something clicked.
Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole.
I don't know if she's been taking lessons from the hubby or anything. I want to give all the credit to her though for doing the damn thing, and the catchphrase where there's only 3 letters to watch on Wednesdays, and that's DDS or something. Yeah,
DMD.
DMD.
Yeah, fantastic.
Doctor of medical dentistry.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's gonna be cheered for how good at being bad she is. You know,
Yeah.
like that's just the way she should be. I never see her wanting.
This is the first women's tag team champions I want in AEW. By the way,
yeah. Right. Let's see if we get Lucky back. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back.
Yeah, I mean that's. I've been saying these same things about Britt Baker for a while. She's going to be the most loved heel or the most hated face. You know, whatever you want to look at it. Just south of MJF.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree with that. And then another segment that we finally get the revelation that Christian Cage challenged Frankie Kazarian, and we haven't seen these guys fight.
No, Frankie Kazarian challenged Christian Cage.
Okay, thank you. There you go. Well, yeah, Frankie. No, Christian. No, wait a minute. No, Christian Cage.
Kaz went up to Christian and said, "What are you going to do?"
This will be the conflict, Chris.
No,
you challenge me. No, you challenge me, and it's a whole thing with ego. That might be the game.
Yeah.
Go back and see it. Chris, because he did tell him, okay, that work. When is that hard work gonna? Come in.
That was Kaz challenging Christian. That Kaz just walking up to him was the challenge.
Well, okay. Maybe you could say that was challenge, but then Christian was the one saying, "Oh, I got no opponent."
Are you free next week?
Yeah.
But I love one of the lines of the night was I got 2 of them, but this is the big one was Kaz with "Oh, now that you're free Mondays, you're not working Monday, are you?" I was like, "Oh shit, he did it. He said it."
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, "That's clever." And,
that's straight out a shoot on WWE for sure.
Yeah, I love that. That was
Elevation, the best wrestling on a Monday night.
Yeah.
That's a straight shoot on WWE. But yeah, now we're gonna see Christian Cage in the ring. Finally, it's been 7 years and we have not seen him.
When he said that, I thought he was fucking with him. I thought it was another joke. When he goes, I imagine you're a little rusty after 7 years. And I was like, oh, I'm like, wait, no, it has been 7 years. I thought he was making a joke that when he was wrestling that it wasn't good enough to be counted as wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's been 7 years. How old is Jay? Like 45?
Somewhere around there, probably mid-40s.
Like Edge is like 50, right?
Edge is almost there. Like they're both like in the mid-40s, I believe. So.
Jay Reno. Let's see here. Not Janet Reno. Completely the opposite.
But definitely, I mean, we haven't seen these 2 individuals since TNA days. I mean, and a lot of people, I'm going to say, I want to speak about it myself very briefly.
47. So, okay.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, he looks great. I mean,
a lot of people don't give Christian the credit where he's supposed to be giving credit to. The fact is that, I mean, shit.
We're about to.
Yeah, because come on. After he left WWE, he reinvented himself when he was in TNA. He did, especially in the ring-wise, especially in his ring skills, abilities, changed a lot compared to what he used to do when he was in WWF, during the time with the Brood, during the time with Edge and Christian. Yeah, singles. No, he reinvented himself and did a lot of incredible moves that you never seen him done before in WWE when he went to Impact TNA. And he put historic matches, in my opinion, there a lot. And people do not give him the credit where he deserves. Just because he went back, won the ECW title, which is a developmental title, we already know. Did win the World Heavyweight title. At least I give him what credit's due. But even though he never won a WWE champion, but hey, Christian's a hell of a worker, and hard work pays off. And I'm happy for him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him next week. With Frankie, and I cannot wait to see that. So I mean, I'm gonna go with you, Matt Callis. Are you excited? Are you ready for the peeps?
Captain Charisma,
Captain Charisma, baby.
The instant classic himself coming in. So he's his magic was TNA, and he's a hero to the outside of WWE before he made his comeback. So I really think he shines better outside of WWE. It's like they kind of don't want him to succeed over there. Like, it's like whenever he's there, they just like, no, we're gonna put you off to the side. So he's like one of the best outside of WWE success stories. And let's remember, he's the safest worker. His video with Chris Jericho is the reason why I know about this handshake. Where you just like, oh yeah, you're a smooth worker. So him and Kenny, those are the safest workers you could hope for. Like Christian had a classic with Sting, and he's had he had a match, like a hardcore match kind of with Kazarian, because there was like a ladder and other stuff. So I like the magic those two will bring out. It's going to be really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. Do you agree with that, director?
As far as Christian being a safe worker, or him finally getting to not have the ropes of Vince McMahon tying him down?
There you go.
And I say
both.
The edge thing isn't really like his fault. Like Adam isn't sitting there being like having to hold my best friend down. That's just a booking nightmare, unfortunately, to have been in. I mean, the Brood was awesome, but to really work your ass off to come out of that Edge shadow, which is neither one of their faults. He obviously did that in TNA, where people were actually like, "Oh shit, he's not just Edge's sidekick," which I think is one of his lines he's dropped on Dynamite lately. He's like, "I'm not just a sidekick." But yeah, I mean, there's nothing else I can be said. I know the rumor about him not doing very well, even though he had a world title run in WWE, was some bullshit. Like Vince just didn't like his face. Is that like that's like what I heard?
That's pretty much what it is. He just didn't like him. Period.
I don't know if he meant like literally. I just think he's an ugly looking person, and I don't want to push him, but he's earned it, so I have to. I don't know what that is. I've never heard that being that's a fucked up. Really, I mean, Vince is afraid of burritos, so nothing. I wouldn't put anything past that, and that's real. I looked that up. There's actually John Huber. I'm not religious, but rest in peace, Dark Order. One of the videos was him making fun of like burritos or something like that to kind of dig at Vince.
Scared of burritos.
Yeah.
The
Turkey
fuck that
sandwiches.
means you're scared of like chicken wraps, veggie wraps? What's up with that? Like,
Well, I'm gonna keep saying this for everybody who Britt Baker. Honestly, she covered it a little bit when she said like stop bringing over has-beens and start making legends like me. I'm paraphrasing, but that was essentially what her point was. But there are some wrestlers who I'm sort of happy, and I'm happy for anyone who's happy, but proud of for getting to express the end of their career life. Like Paul White, Big Show, Christian Cage. Yeah, man. Sting obviously is in the same boat. Sting, went through some shit over in WWE where he didn't go out. He went out on someone else's sword. He got tossed on it. And I think Christian is going to, hopefully, if he has 2 or 3 years left in him, put on the match of his life somewhere down the line. Probably that Omega fight. I think him versus Kaz is going to be fucking fantastic.
I can't wait.
It is a great test. This is a great test because Kaz is about the same age and hasn't slowed down a heartbeat since the X Division.
No.
This dude is very similar to AJ Styles, where he's just getting better and better.
Same era.
Well, yeah, they were. I mean, that original Impact TNA X Division was like
Frankie,
AJ Styles, Kaz, Christopher Daniels, and they've only gotten better.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Like, and yeah, this is a great test to see where Christian is, because we've seen Kazarian on Dynamite regularly. So we know that he can perform his ass off. So let's see if Christian can keep up. Let's do it, bro. Outwork everyone.
Yeah, I cannot wait either. That's going to be amazing to see. It's Wednesday. I cannot believe that.
Moxley said, Renee said in an interview that she said that Moxley said that I thought I knew everything about wrestling until I got in the ring with Christian. That's what Moxley said about Christian.
Yeah,
I heard that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, well, I think Mox actually did say that in a promo. I don't know if it was this week or last week, or somewhere, but there was a promo for that where those words came out of his mouth, like directly. Yeah, it was a good promo too. Not even a promo, just talking to the guy.
Yeah, definitely. And then we get to see the Pinnacle, FTR, not Premier, Pinnacle.
I know. I'm sorry. Premier is such a better name though, bro. I was so in love with Premier.
I'm with you. I mean, I don't know about Pinnacle. I mean, we already said why. I mean,
it's just too many syllables, and I don't like the letters. I don't like the way the letters flow.
No. I like that's more evil sounding. The Premier is almost too friendly. It's like,
actually, don't tell anybody this, but when I return, I'm going to be the Premier.
There you go.
That'll be cool, Chris. Yeah. Well, I think that'll be good for a baby face, but like a Pinnacle,
it would be good for either one, actually.
Very controversial.
Yeah, because like you could be confident and cocky. It could be both.
Very true. I love that.
I think because Pinnacle sound reminds me of Pentagram a little bit. It's different. It's not Pentagram, but it's like you know, it's a little dark and a little bit more. It's so like you know.
You know what? It reminds me of something spiky, like Pinnacle Peak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay.
What the phrase is, you know. So I think of like jagged, which I kind of understand. Also, I think that's what it is. Where with the word Premier, I see like spotlights.
Yes,
that's just where my brain goes.
But I like it though. I like how you just put like. I know how definitely you're going to use Premier for sure. If you,
the Premier.
I love it.
Weighing 200 pounds from Hollywood, California, the Premier. That's fucking sick, dude. That's such a good intro.
Hey, right now, don't take it away from us.
Don't steal it. Rhodes, just leave me alone, brother. Don't come for my gig.
So yeah, we did have the Pinnacle FTR and Sean Spears defeating the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin. It was a good match. Good to see all those three upcoming rising stars, these three incredible athletes in the ring. Then we did see the aftermath, of course, the little segment.
Yeah, real quick, that fucking mullet on Brian Pillman Jr. is getting out of hand. That thing has its own they're going to have to name that waterfall after a state park or something. It is wild. Jesus Christ, dude.
Stone Cold Griff Garrison.
But yes, we did see the little segment, obviously. Oh, we're not just we're not just a group, we're family. And of course, MJF. I mean, I don't know the way how this. I can tell you. I mean, I like the faction, but I need more. And I know this is barely the tip of the iceberg, but I know later on we are gonna get that blood and guts. With them and
War Games.
War Games type. Yeah, we're gonna get that for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing.
That's what I want, brother. I love War Games.
I mean, shit. I could say, yeah. I mean, this is like you could say is almost like a Four Horsemen 2.0 wannabe. I could say that. That's just me saying that. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not here giving facts. It's just the way how it looks. Everything looks. It's just the way how it's presented and the way how they present themselves in the mic and the promos. Very similar, like how Ric Flair, even Blatchford has done himself, Arn, everybody else. It's just very similar. And next thing you don't know is that they're going to steal their lines from the Four Horsemen. I mean, I don't know. That's something that
MJF's creative enough to kind of do his own thing.
Yes, I feel that MJ is more creative than the rest of them. Who I really want to be more out there is Sean Spears. That's who I want, literally. Because he's been just on a quiet mode. He's been too fucking quiet. He needs to get out, get his not saying get his own, but be with the group. But he needs to be out there and just name him himself for the group.
A new concept on the mic, because when he was a babyface in WWE, he had the 10 and perfect 10 and all that stuff and all those funny things.
A quick throwback. It wasn't that long ago where Ty Dillinger had the biggest pop of that Rumble, and I love it.
Hell yeah.
We all knew it was going to happen. We all knew he was coming out at number 10.
Yeah.
And you could see the love and the energy he had when he came out. He was very stoked to be there, obviously, and the fans reacted as such. How do you misuse somebody so good, so charismatic? And just
they gotta let him do it. Maybe it might be him shooting himself in the foot, or maybe it's just because he's a heel.
No, I think what happened with Ty was it was one of those we just don't have anything for you.
Yeah.
Tonight turned into a month, turned into release me.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's just lazy writers. What are you paying these guys for?
Pay us We can do fucking better shit and put out better product than your fucking Hollywood writers. That's a fact.
We don't work for Disney.
No, we don't work for Disney. No, we don't work for ESPN. No, we don't work for But
we're not Bucky Beaver.
No, but you can just call us. Call us Vinny. Call us Bruce. Call us. Dunn. I mean, we'll write for you. We will write for you. Pissing gold excellence. Pissing writing excellence for sure. All right. I mean, all right. So now let's move on. This is another one that we did recap last week that we did see. We mentioned this. I did see QT Marshall's segment. Of course, now we're seeing the heel side of him that is coming out. He explains why. Oh, I'm frustrated. I hate being the one, Mr. Do-It-All, bringing us coffee, not getting my fair time, being always the sidekick. You want to talk about sidekicks? There you go. That's your sidekick. That's everything right there. Cody comes out like all professional with the here, hold my studio, my headset. I'm like, come, you really had to do that, Cody? Like, why do you have to do that? It's just you're not. Who are you listening to? That's bullshit. I'm sorry, I had to say that out. That's bullshit. Like, that you're not doing shit backstage. So I'm like, Cody, of course, accepts the challenge.
Tiddlywinks.
Yes. Accepting the challenge for QT. Obviously now putting Arn as the ref. So I'm going to say very briefly, and I'm going to get to you, Director. I want to get your thoughts. Very briefly, how I feel about this. We know for a fact that QT's going to fucking go heel. Unless they switch it up and Arn goes heel and starts his own shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm taking QT with me. I'm going to start my own faction, separating QT, maybe taking Nick Camarado, some of the Nightmare family, and start his own faction.
Turning Cody heel would be a bad idea right now since he's launching that reality show.
I wouldn't, but see, I'm talking about Arn Anderson turning heel, not Cody. Cody would be as a face, but I feel somehow for Arn to be involved in this, I got a feeling that Arn is going to turn. Something tells me that he's going to turn. So I'm going to
go with QT.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
And maybe QT could join.
No, not the Pinnacle. I believe that Arn will just start his own faction. I feel like he could probably start his own. That's what I'm saying. He could take parts of the Nightmare family, parts of the group, and create his own faction. He could do that. That could be a possibility. So, because adding Arn, it's got me really, okay, he's going to go heel. Either he's going to go heel out of nowhere, or it's so predictable that QT is already there. But Arn is the biggest question. So I'll go to you, Director. Do you feel that way as well, or do you see things differently on this one?
I like that they finally gave QT the mic and platform to explain the storyline because, again, I'm going to say what I've said in the last episode talking about this was that nobody cared about this alleged heel turn because nobody really knew QT as far as like the Dynamite fans go. So they're just like, this guy, okay, we don't care. We're just going to boo him because that's just what you naturally do in this scenario. But now that he's on the mic, it's more organic. And yeah, he's playing the cliched best friend who's not getting all the glory. He's doing all the grunt work. Basically, Christian Cage just let him borrow a script. What Arn is going to do, I have no idea. There's so many variables. Arn could go to Pinnacle with Tully. That would be cool. Arn could take QT with him and try to get into Pinnacle, and then they could turn on Arn and Tully, or Arn and, like I said Arn and Tully could get turned on, and then that would be like a good send-off because these gentlemen are getting up in age, and you kind of usually use a storyline to write them out of the script. I think that would be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. QT fitting in there, I don't want to have that many chefs in the kitchen because then you're just going to have like Evolution, so many people fighting over the same titles. I like it sort of right now because you do have a tag team. You have a mid-tier belt holder potentially in MJF. And then you're going to have to deal with Wardlow and Shawn Spears finding their spots at some point within the divisions. Mm-hmm. Putting QT Marshall over there might be too much. Yeah. Him splitting off with just Arn and them sticking together, I don't like that. That's not that creative.
Mhm.
Arn definitely seems a little too loyal to Dusty Rhodes to do something like that, even in a fake storyline that's scripted. And if QT takes people with him, maybe are we going to care? I don't think anybody cares. I don't. I'm interested to see how this "I'm not going to hurt you" part of the angle goes. Because it obviously sounds a little Big Brother, where Cody says, "I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm not going to hurt you." Not like I could if I want to. I could fuck you up any day of the week. We know that he meant like, I don't want to punch you. I don't want to hurt my friend. But obviously QT is going to be like, oh, you think you can hurt me? Well, I think I can hurt you. That's how the angle is going to go. I'm not as interested in where this goes yet. There's nothing in there that's making me go, I can't wait to see what happens. So hopefully they push the storyline in a direction where I want to tune in to see this. If I hear Cody's music, I can't wait to be like, yeah, he's going to do something to QT, Right now, it's just not there for me, though.
I get you. Do you feel the same way, Matt Steamboat?
We got to see some more character, I guess, from QT Marshall. I like a little bit, some of it, what it is. He's okay on the mic so far. I want maybe some more screaming and some more cruelty out of him. Who knows? Like, maybe he brings brass knuckles to the ring and opens Cody up. So Cody could bleed again, and that'll kind of, once again, AEW blood and guts.
Yeah, I mean,
bloody program.
We're all waiting for that announcement when is that upcoming event too. I mean, yeah, I get your points, good valid points. I mean, but I still feel something's gonna happen here coming up next week to see someone's gonna turn, and I just have I don't know, something gives me that itch, that arm, because I don't know why you're gonna get him involved. Like it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me either, but something tells me something is about to pop up that we are not going to expect. That's what I feel.
Yeah, and I don't know what we've talked about, what version of any of these scenarios we've all played out, because we've literally put these chess pieces in every possible position. So what are they going to do to surprise us?
Yeah.
Like, it would have to be something we haven't already talked about for it to really be a blindside. There's literally, I've even talked about Dustin Runnels turning on anybody or joining somebody. Like, there's no scenario that I'm not going to see coming unless there's a player we don't know about doing something we don't know about. That's the only thing. The only thing that excites me is I want to be excited. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's it. Like, I'm just excited that there might be something exciting, but I'm not getting my hopes up yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like patiently waiting to see what's. And I'm hoping this shit ends. I'm hoping this is like a new, different end this chapter because
it's not overstaying its welcome. I'm not like I'm not like this needs to be over with. I just want to see where it goes.
Okay. All right. And now let's move on with the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. Good to see Laredo Kid back, by the way. And people who are not familiar with Laredo Kid,
I almost thought it was Lince Dorado. I was like, whoa. No offense. All luchas look the same. No, I almost thought it was.
George, if you're watching this, I know you're gonna bash on Chris again because he's
I didn't mean that like that, bro. Come on, you gotta. That's not what I meant.
The Laredo Kid part.
That's what I know. I'm saying like I almost thought it was because I didn't recognize him because he had been gone for so long.
I know.
Had nothing to do with anything, but he was shorter than Penta and Bray. And he was new to he hasn't wrestled in like a month. So I was like, Lindsay? No,
he hasn't been in an AEW ring for like I think a year or two. But you can catch, but what I'm trying to explain is if people are not familiar with him, you can see him on MLW Fusion. You can see him there for a fact. And also you can catch him on AAA as well. So you can catch him definitely on MLW Fusion, which, by the way, the shout out to George McKay from Straight Talk Wrestling and Lewis Carlin. Catch them on their YouTube channel because they also cover MLW Rewind and they recap every weekly show of MLW Fusion. So catch it because we really don't cover with this. Like I said, once again, we have too much to cover. But yes, them versus the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler. I'll go with you, Matt Callis. Your thoughts about this match?
Very cool. Seeing the luchadors work their magic. You really have to, it really makes me think back to Laredo Kid. I kind of wish they kind of, they definitely all had their moments to shine in the match, but I keep thinking back to the Kenny Omega versus Laredo Kid in AAA match, that everybody should watch, and how cool that is, and that the whole atmosphere was Dia de los Muertos when it was going on at the time. But he definitely deserves, if anything, he did, since he didn't get that title, I mean, he is a current AAA champion, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Kenny Omega is.
No, the other, the light heavyweight AAA.
He lost that one.
That's the one he lost.
Leo Rush has it.
Yeah, to Leo Rush. So I think he definitely deserves another shot at AEW. He definitely deserves a shot at AEW's title, because Ray and Pentagon. He's definitely more than good enough. He's amazing. So, I want to see, definitely more of him in general, even in singles action, because I love that AAA match.
Definitely. It was a great match overall. I enjoyed it. Great to see Laredo Kid back in the ring. I'm another person that is underrated, that is not really, spoken about. You only catch him on Target, is Brandon Cutler. That's one guy that does not get his credit. I mean, yes,
he had a lot of cool spots in that match.
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
Yeah, to that note, do I know him from somewhere? He wasn't related to one of the Forgotten Sons, right? Is he a brother of somebody, or is he just no one that I've heard of?
No, he. I know he's been in the Indies for quite some time before.
Right.
He's very best friends with Young Bucks. His wife makes the gears for them. So that's how they became BFFs, and they've been BFFs.
There was a Cutler? Who's the dude who's hanging out with Elias right now?
Oh, you talk about the guy from Steve Cutler. Steve Cutler.
So are they not related?
No.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's a very unique name. There's Jay Cutler, the football player. So I was thinking maybe, I was like, is that? I was like, I know the Forgotten Sons kind of all got technically let go.
Yeah.
So I was like, is that the guy from Forgotten Sons? Are they related? So now that you tell me that they're not related at all, okay, then I'm my memory's wiped.
Yeah, no, the one with Elias, that's Jackson Riker. Steve, actually, the other Cutler you talking about, he got let go.
Steve Cutler, he was the guy who had the statements that nobody agreed with, correct?
No, yeah, he was with Barry and Corbin and one of the Corbin men.
He was the one who didn't. He's on the wrong side of history, I believe.
Okay. He's gone now. But yeah, definitely. I mean, Brandon Cutler. It's another underrated. I think the problem that people are not really into him completely is his lack of charisma. Character. Okay, Dungeons and Dragon character is cool. It's not bad. I'm not knocking it. It's dope. I love the quick feud he had with Luchasaurus. Dragons exist, before dinosaurs. That prehistoric.
That's a weird argument to have there.
But I love it though. I mean, it was cool to see. But overall, it's just that I think that's the problem, that people are not really right behind him fully to get involved with him. That's why really it's unfortunate you don't see him much in Dynamite. But I think that's what is missing. He needs to be that ruthless aggression. He needs that fire. Since he loves dragon, there you go. Blowing fucking on fire. Get that dragon out of there and get that innocent baby face look away and be more vicious and be more just aggressive. That's what I like to see from Cutler. And I hope he does, in the near future, we will see more of him. Besides Dark Elevate and regular Dark. So, Director, your thoughts about the match overall?
Yeah, I like the match. There's a lot of people going on and a lot of big spots. But here's what I noticed, and I actually kind of appreciated it almost, was it was a kind of a slower paced match. Yeah, it wasn't back and forth, Lucha Young Bucks, traditional fast paced rapid fire spot fest.
No.
It was a slow build to, I think, the diving sequence, which was awesome because it started with 2 on the outside, then it became 3 on the outside, the 4 on the outside, the 5 on the outside, and then adding each time you added a person to the outside was from a dive. And I thought the entire match built the story to that sequence, and then it ended. And then is that when we got the? Yes, that is when we got the.
Okay, Kenny Omega right after that. Yeah.
There we go. Yes.
Definitely.
So.
Definitely.
I like the match. I kind of appreciated it was slower paced. It's not going to make any top 5s or anything like that, but that spot fest was pretty cool. I like the dive sequence.
Yeah.
It's very indie right there. Indie wrestlers like to do a lot of those crazy spot sequences to the outside with the dives. I think it was Cutler who might have overshot and almost pulled a Marco stunt and hit the guardrail.
Oh,
I think,
yeah, he almost.
He did the springboard swanton to the outside.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, his ass definitely hit the guardrail. But then lead us into the end of the match, Ivan. This is where things get a little weird.
That's right. And after the aftermath, of course, they did lose, the Bucks and Cutler. Laredo kept pinning Cutler, that Spanish Fly. Then after that,
I know, and I love that the match ended on a Spanish Fly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Kazarian used to be Kazarian's finisher and he used to win with it, and then it just became a signature move.
Yeah. It sucks that's not a powerhouse finishing move nowadays. It should be, because it's like, damn, that's it.
Yeah, even the standing. Some people do the standing. I think, does Morrison or someone do the standing Spanish Fly?
Someone does.
Apollo Crews. Cedric Alexander. Yeah. I think all of them do it. Yeah, a lot of people do that standing version of it.
Yeah. But yeah, with the aftermath, would you see Kenny Omega coming out again, telling the Bucks, I mean, what is, like, I'm just the cool kids, and we're supposed to be I left my family to be with you guys. I rode with you guys. We started this era. We started the whole thing. We're the cool kids. You hanging out with Brandon Cutler, and I'll give you one last chance. Give him the 2 sweet up, or give you the last chance. And the Bucks walked out. They walked out on him. They walked out. They left him hanging. Then next thing you know, we do see Kenny Omega. Yeah, I'm done with them. Screw them. I'm done. Then the scene, that fucking super kick party.
A double super kick from Lucha Bros. Was so out of nowhere. Like, I was watching the TV, but like I may have looked away or blinked for a second, and it came out of nowhere.
They're very fast.
Looks so real, and Kenny was. I mean, obviously, I have the picture right here. The blood. I don't know how they pulled the blood off.
No, he did get hit with the mic. If you look at
with the mic.
Yeah.
Okay. So funny story is when Kenny came out and Don Callis was with him. I have a microphone somewhere. I can't use it, I guess. I'll just use this. Kenny grabs the mic from Don. He goes, "Give me the mic, Don. Don, give me the mic. Give me the mic." I'm like, "You're holding the mic." I'm like, "Oh, that's part of the crazy."
Yeah.
It took me a second to realize that he's playing the crazy. And I'm like, "Oh, that's hilarious. That's very subtle, very funny." But yeah, this loose cannon Kenny, kind of almost like Brian Pillman from space, I guess you would say. I still don't rule out the Young Bucks teaming up with him. I still think it's going to come down to, like, where were the Good Brothers? Remember, that's the line. Mm-hmm. Is the Good Brothers they just lost their tag titles, so and now they were a little late for the save.
Yep.
And the Young Bucks didn't attack Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw a very similar storyline. I think was it reversed like a year or two ago? Was it Kenny and the Young Bucks were having the same conversation with Hangman Page? Like, where's your head at? Are you with us or against us? Was that the storyline?
Mm-hmm. Flipping it around.
Yeah. Now it's kind of Kenny doing, or the Young Bucks. Yeah. So, man. The only issue is I don't know what's going to happen if you kick the Good Brothers out, because, it's just – or is it just going to be Kenny by himself, and he's going to be – I think JR or Excalibur said he had some tagline where he was like the last guy at the party or something like that.
Is that what he said?
He said something like that. I mean, I'd have to really go back and look up the script.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something like Kenny Omega is like, he's at an island of his own. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, or this might just end up being Kenny and Don by themselves. And then maybe Kenny getting the TNA heavyweight title and holding both of them. I don't know where it's going. This is one of the storylines where, opposite of the Cody QT Marshall thing, I'm excited no matter where it goes. And I want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I have no idea. There's so many players in this, and there's 15 years of backstory amongst this entire faction, I guess you would call it.
It's like
and then the crossover with the TNA or Impact. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to TNA. I apologize. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. it might just end up being Kenny by himself with Don. Maybe even Don's like, hey man, this guy's kind of crazy. I should probably back up. So
definitely.
That's all I got. Hey, what's up, Mike?
Okay, there you go. And then
we're just talking about that the backstage Hollywood brawl of WrestleMania 12 between Goldust and Roddy Piper. What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, come on now. Really, guys?
With the Bronco.
Really?
With the Bronco. Remember the Bronco chase? I used the OJ footage?
I come in here.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
And I see Matt with a spacesuit. What's going on there?
Yeah, Mike didn't see it.
Pod racing or something?
All right.
There we go. People had to see it.
You're missing a wild one right now, dude.
Oh, man. I can only imagine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we can get my mic ready. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a multi-time recording artist, a graduate from Cal Santa Hills. He's a 2018 Los Angeles World Karaoke Champion. He lives 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. He is the master disaster, the king of sting, the man with the plan, Money Mike Lopez.
Great to be here. Great to see you guys. I love I love it. All of it. The suits, the glasses, the escoba. I can't even translate right now.
The broom.
The broom. Yes.
Your cheerleader right
Absolutely. All of it.
Yeah, give you the hero's welcome. A hero deserves a hero's welcome.
That's
Thank
right.
you, brother.
There you go. There you go. Definitely. You deserve that. But yes, we were discussing about the Young Bucks, Cutler versus the Lucha Bros and Laredo. So give us your take on that.
Oof, man, that match was so fire. Oof. It's like just I've mentioned this sort of idea before of if I were to introduce somebody to wrestling, I would put on this match. This is one of those. Man, it just from beginning to end, spot after spot after spot. And you know, I hear people say, oh, well, you know, too much spots and you know, that's going to ruin wrestling and whatnot. But I really don't think so. If everybody is doing that, then yes. But the Bucks, that's their style. It's all stylistic. It's, you know, whoever's style brings them to that, you know. So there you go. That's all that needs to be said. 6 very talented individuals putting on a great match.
So you feel like that Brandon Cutler is underrated?
You know what? Yeah, I would go ahead and say so. Sure. Now, now, hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
Am I saying he's a future Hall of Famer? Probably not. But then again, we do have Snoop Dogg, Drew Carey,
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. We have all sorts of Hall of Famers.
The Great Khali.
Yes.
We'll talk about
that. I guess I kind of retract that statement though. So yes, Brandon Cutler can be a future Hall of Famer.
But no, not WWE. That's
you don't know. He's guy's young.
Hey, never say never.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up. If you ever want to say never, just look at Stone Cold. Like
absolutely,
Stone Cold is the king of, I mean, pun intended, of literally looking at the exit door to the arena with walking papers and was one paragraph away from becoming nobody. And now, you know, he's the GOAT. That could happen to anybody. Anybody can just say the right thing at the right time and just change the face of, I mean, Austin changed the world, not just professional wrestling, but the world with just that one sentence. So anybody can do that.
Being captivating.
All right. Now let's go ahead and well, before, is there anything you want to go ahead and let's give you a quick recap. Well, yeah, you know what? We need to get your thoughts on the opening match, at least. Omega Matt Sydal. Your thoughts about that?
Mine? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I might get some hate from this.
Oh, I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Okay, so I've contemplated this for a few days now, maybe even weeks, that for whatever reason, Kenny Omega is losing me.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I don't disagree. I continue.
I mean, that's not to say that he sucks or that he's awful. Far from it. But, and I was thinking about it, if you put Karrion Kross and Kenny Omega next to each other, and you ask somebody who doesn't know anything about wrestling, who's the world champion? I feel odds are that they're just by looks of themselves, they're gonna go with Karrion. Okay, so I don't get this whole strong. I don't get a strong presence from Kenny Omega as I would like, or maybe that's just in my head, the idea that I've had because of people saying, oh, he's this, he's that. I guess I kind of overhyped him in my own mind, but I'm not getting the whole dominant champion from him. He says he's better than Hogan. He says he's better than Flair. I'm not picking up on that just yet. Maybe down the line, maybe in hindsight, I will, but at this point in time, he just doesn't have that icon status to me.
Now, are you referring to this incarnation of him with the AEW heavyweight title, or Kenny Omega's entire career dating back to the matches with Okada in Japan?
No, I'll tell you this. I wish I would have been watching his career since back then.
Okay.
But as far as this right now, this statement, I'm just saying just AEW.
So this particular title run does not make him feel like the dominant champion.
Right. Maybe it was hurt by the whole tag team division. So
maybe. I think also he has only had one defense, and that was that Moxley death match. And then his other match is like the Seidel one. That was I fucking hate these, but this was a title shot match where you beat the champion, then you get the championship title. That makes no sense. I hate that stipulation.
Agreed.
But he's not exactly a defending champion. That might be the character, obviously, because he does have the Jackal in his corner. Kind of, I mean, he's doing probably better work in Impact right now as far as like his wrestling legacy goes. But like, I understand that maybe that is the character, is that you're supposed, like, like the Miz always like weaseled his way out of defending the title. Seth Rollins did that as well. But then when Seth Rollins was a face, he defended it every night, and so it just, I think, might be character development.
Maybe.
But I know what you're saying. Like, yeah,
we're doing the same thing in Japan because Tanahashi, if you want a shot at the AEW title, you have to beat me at Wrestle Kingdom. That's why Tanahashi just straight out lost to Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom. So this is, I guess they're kind of doing the same thing. It's like you got to jump over 2 mountains to get that title. So I guess that's what they're doing. But with Kenny Omega overall, they need to do this with him before these two guys get too old.
Yeah.
RVD and the Great Muta, they need to get those matches over with before they get too old, please.
All right.
Great Muta's still.
Yeah, he's the
champion of Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah, he's like 60 and killing the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why they and that door is open because Cyberfight owns Tokyo Joshi Pro and Pro Wrestling Noah, and they've got a partnership with Impact. And like I said,
DDT.
Muta said, and
58.
DDT.
I was. How did I know that? That's so creepy. 58 years old.
Yeah. And Muta said he's willing to defend the title over an Impact, and Kenny Omega's regularly appearing on Impact. So
definitely
gotta get it over with before they're too old. Like
no reason that shouldn't happen.
Definitely. And then also we did see Tay Conti getting picking up her win against Nyla Rose. Finally, I'm happy for her. She's getting the push that she deserves that she never got in NXT at all. She's getting that momentum right now. We did see obviously Dark Order going down supporting her. That's right.
Love it. Fucking love that.
Well, yeah, because there's no Anna Jay right now. Anna Jay right now is injured. She's out of commission. Well, you guys like her or not?
I'll send Rose.
Yeah, they tried to replace her with Maki Ito, but I guess that
she has to go back to Japan.
Yeah, she has to go back to Japan. But overall, I mean, and then after that, we see something that we haven't seen for quite some time. Since her signee in AEW, we've never seen her as much since she left the Nightmare Family, and that is Bunny. So we did see the aftermath after that.
eliminator or something or something, right?
No, she was not part of the tournament either. She was not part of the tournament.
Someone called her out though.
Oh no, nobody called her out on it. So. Oh no, yeah. Matt Hardy mentioned that the eliminator tournament was ridiculous because she wasn't in it. She was never.
That's I misheard that then. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I thought Tay Conte might have called her out or something like that, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so I'm really actually happy for Tay Conte first of all, and then I'm happy for Bunny because now it's about damn time we get to see her now in an in-ring performance. So I'll go to you, Bunny Mike. Your thoughts? Are you happy to see Bunny now getting back in the ring this time? Now it was under a new management under Matt Hardy?
Yeah, anytime that I get to see a new talent or a talent that I have not seen perform in the ring, I think it's great, They all deserve to get a chance to show what they can do, right? I've only seen pictures of her in ring gear, so I know that she's wrestled before.
Yes.
I've not seen any of her matches, so this will be a welcome match for sure.
Okay, so you definitely got to see Impact. You definitely got to see a lot of her matches in Impact. She's not a bad performer. She's great in the ring. It's just she has not been given the opportunity at this moment. The last time was with the American Nightmares.
Tag as a Nightmare Sister with Brandy Rhodes back when she was in the Nightmare family, which is a real awkward angle.
Dumbest angle ever, by the way.
Yeah, and she did fine in those matches. I think Brandy was the one that might have made things awkward in the ring. But the angle essentially was like Allie was trying to steal the spotlight from Brandy, and she would come in and sneak the wins in the pins and shit like that. If I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't Brandy's or it wasn't Allie's fault per se that she didn't get to perform up to her standard. But she can perform. She also hasn't been in the ring in a wrestling capacity in, I guess, what was it, 9 months ago? It's been a while.
Yeah. Almost a year, but you're right.
I love that we can say a year ago with AEW. Something happened a year ago in AEW. Remember when we were like, Double or Nothing's like a week away? Let's see if this works. Let's see if this is as good as it sounds. And now we're talking about shit that happened a year ago. I love it, bro.
Oh yeah.
Let's keep them around.
Yeah. It'll be good to just get her in the ring because that's where she wants to be, And then the whole thing with the Hardy Party, which I'm not calling it the Money Foundation or whatever.
The Money Foundation.
They gave it a name. What did they give it?
I don't know yet. I forgot.
That Money Inc. Was it Money Inc?
Matt Hardy's Empire.
I don't know. Matt Hardy Compound or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they the Money Foundation. They gave it some silly name, but yeah. I don't know why they didn't put her in that tournament, man. Fuck it. Like,
I know.
There's plenty of room. It's you're the bookers. Just do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean. But I'm glad to see her back on, and so we'll have to wait to see. Are you excited, Matt, to see Bunny back in the ring finally? It's been a long time. I'm asking you, Matt Callis.
I could go either way. Like I'm not highly invested, but she's a good heel overall.
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel you.
Now let's go to the main event of the evening.
I can't believe that none of those were already the main event. That Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks, none of those were main events. They all could have been main events. That's how good they were.
But I love it that the fact is they're pushing their young talent, their upcoming stars to become in a main event, and also remind you it's a TNT World Title match. It's TNT, so it has to be the main event, most definitely. And the beautiful about it is seeing these two upcoming rising stars putting a hell of a performance. I loved it, phenomenal, fantastic. Wow, I love it. At the end, we did see Darby getting the win against John Silver. And also, I wish him a speedy recovery because he did dislocate his shoulder. And, he dislocated him. Hopefully, he's not.
The whole match, too.
He finished the whole match.
It was so, unfortunately, it was such an obvious injury that I think Excalibur called it as it happened and was talking about it through the match. I don't know if John had mentioned it to the ref and the ref had signaled to the back and in the back and go commentary. Obviously that chain of command exists. But they were talking about it live as it happened, on the broadcast and how he just powered through it. Fucking spark plug, man. Guy reminds me of Crash Holly.
But yes, we did see that happen on the spot where he was thrown to the, to the rings, to the rails, to the barricade. And that's where it happened. He messed himself up, and I love it. See, Excalibur, because of his knowledge, he called it. He slid right in the spot when he was holding. Yeah, he dislocated his shoulder. I think he saw it right on point and called it right in the spot, and he did finish the whole match. Then we did see the aftermath. Matt Hardy and his group came and got involved. And then we did see a brawl for all right there. It was a Matt Hardy group with Dark Order, with Stang and Darby. And then with these Tay Conti coming out as well, beating up Bunny. So, wow, looks like, okay, we're getting our first now. Is this another blood and guts match can happen too?
It has to be.
It has to be. But here's the thing, though, and I'll go to you, Director. I want to ask you this with this including follow-up question. But what does it have to do with Darby and Sting? I mean, Dark Order's enough. Matt Hardy's there. Now you're putting them involved. It's like, either unless you're going to give Matt Hardy the TNT title shot now, that could be the case we might see next week by the looks of it. But I'll go to you, Director. Give us your thought overall of the match and this Raw for all after that.
Yeah, great match. I love that they're giving the 6 feet and under division the light that it, should always have. It should always be about work ethic, not size. I've been saying that for 25, 30 years straight up. Fuck, I'm old. Love the match. It was another one of those Darby just ekes it out wins. Like, last week with Scorpio, he had kind of gotten like a surprise roll up. I think it was like a crucifix or backslide or something. And then this week it was like a front roll up or something like that. It wasn't exactly like a signature into a finisher into a cemented 1, 2, 3. But that doesn't matter. All that matters is that you get your hand raised and you didn't cheat. And Darby's not cheating and he's getting the wins. And he's kind of outsmarting people. He's outlasting and outsmarting his opponents in these matches. And they're of all different sizes. Like he beat Cody for the belt. Much bigger guy, faster and stronger. Scorpio, bigger, stronger, faster. John Silver, smaller, definitely stronger, probably equally as fast. They do keep saying that the greatest TNT champion was Brody Lee. And if he was, I'm going to be very sensitive about what I'm about to say. If he were still alive, and God, do I wish that was the case. If he were still alive, I don't think his name would be brought up as the greatest TNT champion. I think it was absolutely Cody, because Cody did defend it like 3 to 6 months straight every Dynamite. Brody won it and then defended it like once and then lost it. I do believe that he does deserve the respect, but he's not the greatest TNT champion. Controversial, maybe. Facts, probably. But who's next for Darby? Maybe Matt. I didn't consider that until you said it. Because at some point they do have to separate the teams that might be in the blood and guts war game style match. I don't know what the gimmick is for it. I don't know if it's 2 rings or 1 ring in the cage and like just 25 people in the ring at the same time.
A 3-level cage, we haven't seen
no triple cage like WCW. For God's sake,
5 level.
No.
It's gonna be 2 rings. And you go through 1 ring, and the rings are below it.
It'll be 5 rings, Saul.
It's the bunk bed match, but it's 2 rings.
There was a WCW pay-per-view where it was like 7 levels, and Hulk Hogan had to go through all of them.
Oh Jesus, 7 levels of hell, like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the only singles wrestlers in that bedlam, that chaos, were Darby and Matt Hardy and Sting.
Yeah.
But when Sting came out ringside, I was a little worried. He was pacing back and forth. He had the bat on his shoulder. He was just kind of trying to keep, obviously, I was waiting for it.
I know you were.
And when he got in the ring and he went and he stared down John Silver, and then I think he gave him a pat on the back or a hug, and then he did the same to Darby. I'm like, here it comes. And it didn't happen, but I'm still holding on. I'm not letting go of that gamble. It's a good gamble. But yeah, so Darby and Matt Hardy makes sense. Definitely would probably happen at Blood. How far away is Blood and Guts? Is that?
Well, I don't even know. They haven't even announced it yet or anything. But we're jumping the gun that they're going to end up doing this because you're having so many group factions, forming and feuding. And it's like shit. Eventually, they're going to come down the line.
So there's no date for it. But we're assuming there's 1 pay-per-view a month. It's not every 2 weeks like WWE.
Well, that we know of, because their normal tradition one now they have is Double or Nothing, which is in May always. May is always their Double or Nothing pay-per-views.
April, May. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we still have something big, perhaps in
maybe so. We don't. Yeah, we still have plenty enough time to find that out.
So if this is going to be a big faction versus faction event, then Matt and Darby makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
With Darby outsmarting and outthinking and slipping the win. Maybe he, turns a twist of fate into a twist of fate, you know, some shit like that.
Or I mean, you could add Lance Archer into this, this mixture, having team up with Matt. That could be something else that you could have as well.
I fucking hate that.
I know.
Yep. I don't like that. I like Lance Archer so much that I don't want him in the teaming up with anybody. He's such a loner character, even though he's with Jake the Snake. He's such a non-ally guy. He's like Karrion Kross essentially, where he's just kind of his own thing.
Yeah. Maybe how about him as leader? Because like I always make those Undertaker comparisons, rather than as like a follower. Lance kind of like with his underlings, more or less.
A leader of like whatever this big, if they do this faction versus faction match.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, like, if Lance Archer was ever in a faction, he would.
He would definitely be the alpha.
Oh, he'll be the alpha for sure.
Agreed. Undertaker, because look at Undertaker.
300 pounds, yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, he's such a loner character. He's such an anti-hero. That it would be hard to see him have friends that aren't Jake.
Yeah,
because Jake's a bit of a sourpuss himself, and that's the character. I love Jake, man. I love Jake. I think Jake kind of overtalks and kind of like
he can barely
drags on a little bit, but I love it. Like he just kind of stumbles and tries to recover, and then he says something silly that's like that wasn't very intimidating, but it was fun.
Bring that one horse pony Arn Anderson with you.
Yeah, he said something. I was like, all right, Jake, I got you.
One trick pony.
But yeah, there's not much that can be said. I thought Blood and Guts was officially announced. I thought there might have been a date. But now that I don't know that they have something targeted, I don't know. Like
Money Mike.
So a word on factions, and being here with you guys, Circle of Debate, it's kind of like we're a faction ourselves, right?
We are, man.
If I get jumped, I'm sure the three of you guys would jump in and have my back.
Oh yeah,
there you go. So
wait, where would you get? Where location matters.
I know where and I know when.
Like if you're getting jumped in like East LA, like Watts or something.
No, hell no. He'll be around my neck of the woods. And
okay, yeah, we're good. We're good in your area. Your area is I got you. Your area is just yeah.
I could take him on my own, but of course I like to share the spotlight. That's a good, good faction.
Mike, if you get jumped in La Crescentia, I've got a score to settle with some old. I've got a score to settle with some old Russian ladies.
Oh my god!
I don't want to know.
I got a score to settle in Bell Gardens, and I'll leave it at that.
At the casino?
No,
something like that. Something
I
like
already
that.
know what he's talking about. I already know.
But anywho, so what I'm trying to get with all this is that it's true to life that you're gonna have friends and you're gonna have your friends' back. So I like this whole idea of people being in factions, and there's being so many factions going on in WWE. If somebody gets attacked, it's usually one-on-one or whatever. I'm sure that person has friends that would be willing and able to come on out and save them and all that good stuff. So I like factions, and I like that it's going on in AEW.
Everybody is in one. I'm sure you saw last week from me and Ivan couldn't name a single solo performer. There wasn't one person.
No, we did. We did name one of these. That was Lance Archer.
We said last week. Jake the Snake. That counts.
Oh, okay. Oh no, you're right. No,
there wasn't anybody that did faction manager or an ally.
Shit, no, you're right. We didn't.
I don't know if this counts, but Fuego del Sol.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Fuego del Sol. Okay. All right.
I'm out of the loop on that one. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's how obscure he is in AEW.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's the master of the tornado DDT.
Yeah, he's the master of tornado DDT.
But yes. So the match itself. I like the idea of Matt Hardy and Darby Allin potentially at Double or Nothing, that being the match. I feel that Darby could benefit of a feud with Matt, and also Matt with Darby, because I wouldn't want to see Matt Hardy against Hangman again. That passed.
That's done. Yeah,
that's done.
I wanted that over 2 minutes into it starting.
And likewise, Team Taz versus Darby. That's done. Brian Cage seems to be kind of going on another direction, right? Sting seems like they're kind of teasing a Lance Archer Sting sort of thing going on there. We're going in different directions, and I like that it's kind of starting this way with a lot of people involved, because further down the line it's going to be, shrunk and into the two people that are ultimately going to be there. And I really do think that it's Matt and Darby. So I think that should be a interesting matchup and a good way for Darby to go up.
Good observation. Good, very indeed. Matt.
If I don't have the glasses, yeah, like whoever Darby goes with, if you keep putting him with veterans, you'll definitely learn a lot, because we get to know about his like wrestling background. I think Darby versus Matt Hardy would be probably the best for him at the moment, and seems like the most logical where it should go. And Darby is always good when he's an underdog. Sure, Sting's there to back him up, but it's like if they do something where like, oh no, Sting's in another state, he has to watch Darby, kind of fight from underneath. That's always kind of the best thing for baby faces like Darby, fighting from underneath.
Definitely. So who would you put your money on? This Matt or Darby Allin? I'll put my money on our Matt. I'll put money on you, Matt. I look.
No, I'm putting it on Darby just because
big money, Matt.
Big money.
Big money. That's right.
If you got the right attributes.
There you go. I like that. See, should make a shirt up of that. Oh, you can't. See, it's already a shirt. All right, now let's move on with AEW news. Now, with AEW news, there's three things. Actually, no, four things. Okay, the number one is, during WrestleMania weekend, Tony Khan did announce he will be having, obviously, AEW Dynamite for that week coming up for TakeOver. That Wednesday, he's gonna have it, and on Friday, he will be having a live house show, having a crowd on a Friday, a house show, his first house show, AEW's first house show ever. So that's going to happen on Friday, non-televised. Obviously, this is a house show, like how WWE had their live house shows. So I'm looking forward for that. And I guess these are people who cannot, be at me, or I think he's trying to get the crowd before Mania, because Friday Night SmackDown, they ain't going to have no crowd on Friday Night SmackDown, but at least there's going to be a lot of independent circuits around that weekend. And plus, Jacksonville and Tampa is way too far. It's like at least about an hour away, or a little bit more than that, I believe so. 3 hours, right?
Yeah, just about.
About okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see Tony Khan, how that goes for him, and hopefully it goes very well. The other news that Matt Callis mentioned earlier is Cody Rhodes is going to have his new show on TNT. And coincidentally, Rhodes to the top. So, I mean, this is and this is how you know that AEW is not going anywhere anytime soon away from TNT. And even though they had an extension contract, but this already could tell that TNT is happy to have AEW on their broadcast network, and they're going to be there for such a long time. Would not be surprised they could offer a big, huge contract from TNT to stay for the next 10 years. So, I mean, do you agree with that money, Mike?
Of course. So that's how you build superstars, right? Not to take the term from WWE, but I forgot who said. I think it was Freddie Prinze Jr. that made a mention in one of his tweets that that's the reason why Cody's appearing in other things outside of the ring. That that exposes the brand to new people that otherwise wouldn't have seen it. The Go Big Show, now this reality show. There's people that like to see, things like Total Bellas or Ms. and Mrs. More so maybe than the product itself, the wrestling product. Very so, true. Different audiences, different strokes for different folks, right? So this is a cool way for them to get the product into new eyes, more eyes, right? So I think it's genius. I feel like it's a good step. I know that some people are saying, oh, Cody's being, shoved down our throats and this and that. But you know what? At this point, I don't mind it so far. I think that it is a good move, and I'll be tuning in. I'll be watching for sure.
Definitely. And now that you started your rhymings, Now you just started with Matt being provoked. So Matt, stay woke. Go for it.
I'm listening.
The rhymes of all
Yes.
times.
Well,
No, we could do so many different things with the show. I mean, with other different shows other than just Mr. and like with just the Cody thing. There's so many other, characters. I mean, there is Being the Elite, but you know me. You already know what I'm gonna say. The Makito reality show.
Yes. Why am I not? Oh my god.
We could call that is a You Don't Know Ito.
Oh, there you go. Maki,
I'll watch that on
this.
TNT. I'll have all episodes TiVo'd.
I feel like that would be better if it was kind of like in the Edge and Kristen show, Totally Reeks of Awesomeness, like in that same style.
Yeah,
that would be great. And also maybe mix it with Swerve, where like she does like public pranks in Japan or something.
That's
Yeah,
cool. That
she's better suited for something like that.
I mean, you'll get to see Fukuoka on a regular basis.
That's cool that you're gonna have it on TiVo while you eat a burrito.
Drinking some Tito's? I don't know. I got nothing.
With
Drinking
Tostitos.
some mojitos.
A mojito made out of Tito's.
So, I think the thing I missed out on was being introduced as Matt in the shower cap.
All right, that's where you're in the shower singing K-pop. That's what it is. Well, director, do you feel the same way how Mike and Matt put it?
Yeah, it's good that he's getting as much money as he can and exposure for his family and his product, and he's worked hard for it. The only negative thing I can say, and this is just me kind of just trying to be funny, is that when Cody started AEW, it was very apparent that there's more than one royal family in wrestling. That's his gimmick. He came out, he smashed the Triple H throne, kind of as a vigil. And he's like, we're not like other promotions. Oh, by the way, we're exactly like other promotions. We're going to have Cody on every episode doing game shows, and now we have Ms. and Mrs., but it's recast with Cody and Brandy. So as much as he says he wants to separate himself from what's already been done, he's doing exactly what's already been done because it does work. I'm probably not going to watch it, and it's not out of any disrespect.
Yeah, me neither, actually.
I got like fucking 12 seasons of Survivor left. I got like AEW still to catch, to watch weekly,
Pro wrestling.
90 Day Fiance is killing it right now. So it's like, I don't think I have time for another reality show, unfortunately. And when it comes to pro wrestling reality shows, I mean, the ones that I mentioned from the network, rest in peace, were, Swerve was awesome. It was a prank show. The Edge and Christian show, Totally Reeks of Awesomeness, was a sketch show. Like, it was Mad TV. And I love the Legends House, but that was about it. I never was into Total Bellas or Total Divas or Ms. and Mrs. Like, it's just not interesting for me. That's all it is. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to hear people argue about what to have for dinner or something, or, that's just,
yeah.
I hope it does well. I want it to do well. They deserve it to do well.
Okay.
My opinion is not based on taste. It's just what I'm not into. That's it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have
strokes.
it. That's right.
Case in point.
Yeah, case in point, absolutely. Yeah. And also, but this one is I'm gonna throw a curveball to you though, director. Oh yeah, your lady Tay Conti, she will be debuting very soon, not a date yet, on her first MMA career.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Tay Conti is going to do MMA.
Yes.
Are you familiar with her background as a Brazilian?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
Brazilian
brown
jiu-jitsu.
belt.
She's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu?
Brown
Brazil.
Yeah.
He is Brazilian.
Bellator, UFC,
not UFC.
Any company?
Not yet.
One is the one that plays on TNT.
She's not going to ONE FC either. I don't know if this is. I'll look it up. I don't think this might be a pro debut. I'm not sure, but she's like a 3-time judoka. She was going to be in the Olympics representing Brazil. She's Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I think I don't know if she's black belt, but she's close. If she is black belt, that's awesome. But if not, I think she's at least purple, which is one below that in most traditional dojos. But no, she's a fighter first. She was when she was in the Mae Young Classic, she was heralded as MMA fighter.
Oh yeah, that was her gimmick. So they kind of like
How about that?
Yeah.
I can actually just Google her right now. Let's go to Wikipedia. Take Conti.
Yeah.
She can't
Does
be
she
anything
have
taller than
amateur
5'2".
fights?
5'6". Let's see here.
Good question.
Black belt in
like
judo,
amateur
blue belt
MMA?
in jiu-jitsu.
No, not yet. Not yet. She hasn't
Oh my
had no
God,
amateur
she
fights.
participated in the Olympic trials for the Summer Olympics in 2016. She was 19 years old when she was trying to get in the Olympics. That's awesome. In judo. So yeah, black belt in judo, which is a big deal. And then blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You can get your blue belt pretty quickly depending. We'll have Jose Vera on. Some places, if you work hard and you're there in the gym every day, you can get a blue belt within 2 years. She could probably smoke half the men on the planet as far as the ground game goes. So very interesting.
Gotta get those arm bars like Ronda, eh?
The judo comparison, man. I knew that was going to happen. You got to be fair. World champion as Ronda is, she did only win the bronze in the Olympics.
Yeah, but we have to wait pretty soon because she still needs approval from Mr. Tony Khan. So, I don't know if Tony Khan's going to say yes, but it all depends.
Jake Hager on Bellator, so
yeah.
Well, Jake,
there's something.
Before that, no, my apologies, interrupt. Before that, remind you that Hager was already exclusive to Bellator before he went to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So he took that went with it because he agreed upon that contract to allow Jake Hager to fight at Bellator. So this is different because now she's exclusive to him. Now her to go make a debut to a MMA promotion, she's gonna need his permission and obviously work things out and for her to actually compete.
Probably not, because there is something in sports called the Ali Act, named after Muhammad Ali, which prohibits individual contracts that are in separate sports from limiting your participation in said sports. Mm-hmm. So obviously we know Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders were athletes in both NFL and Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
There were contracts that your NFL contract cannot say you cannot perform in another sport unless it conflicts with this current contract. Mm-hmm. So if she has something booked, she can't double book, obviously, but the Ali Act says that if she completes her contract, she's free to do whatever other sport she wants,
right?
As long as they don't conflict. So I don't think. I mean, technically, pro wrestling isn't really a sport, so I don't know how the contracts work.
It's a sport, damn it!
It's still real to me, damn it!
It's still real to me.
So I don't know if it's an acting guild contract. I would say per appearance. It might be a 1099 contract, like what pro wrestling does, or like the main roster does.
Yes.
If it's a 1099 contract, then she should have no problem going to a professional sport with a separate contract. Okay. That would be like John Cena was in the movie Trainwreck with Amy Schumer, but that movie also had LeBron James.
Okay.
Those are three very different contracts.
Right.
They should not conflict with each other legally.
Right.
I think John Cena probably had to ask Vince if he could go in the movie because it's acting in both realms. But LeBron did not have to clear that with the NBA unless it conflicted with the NBA schedule. But if it was in the off season, they have no say in the matter. That's the way the Ali Act works.
Agreed.
The details of whether or not the timeline is correct, then she should be A-okay.
Has it been mentioned what weight class?
No.
She is a flyweight. So 125, she's bantamweight. No, flyweight. Flyweight. No, strawweight. I'm sorry. She's Valentina Shevchenko's weight class, 125. But I also don't know if she's cutting down also because she is she does not skip leg day.
Yeah.
And she can probably deadlift a car.
Definitely.
So I don't encourage her to cut weight, but it's MMA and people do that. So she might try to get down to 115.
Mm-hmm. But definitely we'll wait and see. And also I want to congratulate finally she got her contract. Red Velvet, congratulations. You're now officially all elite. Well deserved. You worked your butt off there. You worked your ass off being, performing in AEW. There you go. Mike is writing it for you. Congratulations to you, Red Velvet. And I'm extremely happy you finally officially are with AEW. I mean, Cody was asked for this during the press conference for the AEW Revolution. He was asked, are you going to sign her? And I'm like, oh, well, we don't know. I got to talk to Tony. We'll find it out, of course. And then she officially got signed. So, I mean, I'm very happy for her. She got signed. She well-deserved. And I cannot wait for the future for her in AEW for sure, especially her and Jade Cargill. We'll be seeing that feud. Now let's jump to pro wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. Also, I want to go ahead and give congratulations to the inductees of the Hall of Fame. That is, of course, the great Khali, Kane, and we're still waiting for RVD. He might be next. Probably by tomorrow we'll find out, or maybe the day after. But I'm congratulating these two gentlemen to be finally inducted. I did see the Kane one. That one was heartfelting because Kane did cry. And
they were red tears, though.
They were red tears. Taker, and the beautiful part is Taker announcing it. Hey, you know what? It's my honor to inform you that you're going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And
Mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Yep, and I mean,
still, yeah, for sure.
Very, very happy for these individuals. A great colleague as well. I mean, even though that we do bash on him, but I gotta give credit with the man's credit's due, man. He's done a lot of in All Japan, New Japan.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of performances. It just because his condition, the way how it is, his his shape is can't do much in the ring. You don't have
to be. Yeah. Jokes aside, you don't have to honestly be. What's a politically sensitive word? I don't want to say great performer. You don't have to be traditionally fast or talented in the ring per se to be an imposing and iconic figure.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm trying to say without trying to be disrespectful?
Yeah.
Like he's never going to be on the list. Yeah, he's not. He's never going to be the best wrestler, but he's always going to be a great figure and absolute giant of a man who, I mean, put India on the map as far as wrestling business go. That's why he was brought in. Was part of those angles. We saw him come back in the second Punjabi prison match with Tiger Ali Singh.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. I thought I was saying Tiger Ali Singh. What the fuck's wrong with me? I used to smoke a lot of weed, bro. Does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, like we said at the top of the hour, there are more questionable people in there. So I have no problem with it. I'm not trying to steal the man's glory. He worked hard for where he's at. So
yeah,
I'm cool with it from a fan's point of view, most definitely. There's definitely going to be some smarks out there who have that opinion. Like, he's the worst wrestler. He's slow and he's got a shitty finisher. It's like, he's 9 feet tall. That's all you really need to be sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, definitely. Money Mike, how do you feel about these two inductees?
I love it. Yes, I think it's great. Khali, like you guys have mentioned right now, that the most technical, no, but a figure that has opened doors for Indian wrestlers that are now being trained. There's an NXT India now, and it could be arguably, actually no, he had a giant, no pun intended, contribution for that to happen, So there's that. And let's see, Kane, of course, man,
there is that.
Kane, what else is there to be said? Our 14-year-old Mike thinking, man,
should have happened sooner.
It was insane. Just well deserved for sure.
I kind of would wish that he would have been inducted in the same class as Undertaker. That's what I would have wished for, but.
Well, does it? Okay, so in when I say actual sports, and you guys know what I mean, non-entertainment sports.
Mm-hmm.
To be inducted into a Hall of Fame, you have to be officially retired for a certain amount of time. Obviously, Vince can make his own rules for his own Hall of Fame, but I still think that rule sort of applies. Is that still a rule that?
Yes, like the Luthez Hall of Fame applies to that, even in the NFL Hall of Fame. The ballots, those are the hardest
the Rock
Hall
and
of
Roll
Fame.
Hall of Fame.
The Rock and another one too. Those are the hardest ones to get inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Right, but you have to be officially retired before you can be. Okay.
One of those rules applies to that. And
so the reason that it took Kane so long is just he didn't officially retire.
Well, I mean, he never announced it. He never officially retired. It's just that he's the mayor of Knox.
Right, but I mean, as long as about a year and a half ago, he was doing the what matches and where.
I know
against other people. Yeah, so, but now that he's being inducted, that officially means that he will no longer return to the ring.
No, because look at Goldberg. Look at Goldberg. You had
Goldberg, Angle.
Okay,
there's a number.
I don't want to look at him, but I believe you.
So there's really no rhyme or reason.
Okay, so it's not like Major League Baseball or basketball.
No,
not at all.
Right, but there is in baseball and football though. Like when they put your jersey up on the wall in basketball,
you're officially to retire. You're not coming back.
Yeah. So that rule does not apply to Vince. No. And that's all I was asking.
No.
Edge and to be another one.
Yeah, Edge.
Well, yeah, but that was retirement due to injury. I understand. Yeah. Okay, I was just curious if this was going to be the end of Kane as an in-ring performer. Same with Ali or the thing with Batista.
Yeah.
Who, for some reason, didn't get to be it this year.
Yeah. All right, Matt. My apologies to you. How are you happy about that?
It's when it comes to the Hall of Fame, it really is just Vince's brain, like we've said before.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's Vince's brain, but there are many other wrestling halls of fame, but this is the Hall of Fame that gives you the most attention.
Mm-hmm.
Well, definitely.
So
you get honored by the public, by the people, but then again, this is Hall of Fame during the pandemic, so it's a whole different,
Yeah, definitely. And also speaking of honor, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, just real quick. I'm calling it right now. Bad Bunny is going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Of course, we're going to see him in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, if Vince likes
aside, yes, that's 1,000% happening.
It'll happen if Vince.
If you go on for merch sales alone, the man deserves it. Honestly,
if he takes Vince out to lunch and buys Vince a turkey sandwich, then maybe he's like, "What music is this? What music is this?" And he plays it for him. He's like, "Oh, it's pretty swinging stuff you got there, sonny boy."
Vince.
And but speaking of honor, Ring of Honor is happening today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the 19th anniversary is a 4-hour show. Make sure you tune in tonight. They have a 1-hour pre-show on their YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Dragon Lee performing because he's an injury. The eardrum pop, can't fly. So his daddy, Bestia del Ring, will be taking his place in the tag team championship. Him and Kenny King versus Titus and Yuhi. And also, Kenny King's going to take over for him on the TV weight championship. He'll be defending it for Dragon Lee. So I'm looking forward to seeing that pay-per-view. And people that did not tune in, go to the Joe from the Ring podcast. They had a live chat with Titus and was Amy Buddy Rose, the manager of Facción Ingobernable. Incredible, loved it. Also, a lot of changes are happening as well. Impact is moving to Thursdays because NXT is moving to Tuesdays. This happens on April 8th for Impact, and this happens on April 13th for NXT. So I want to go back and say, because what George says, they're all in this together. They know how to monopolize everything. Of course, and not only that, Impact and WWE do have a stable relationship because, the fact is that we're able to share videos, share about their previous talents like Samoa Joe, AJ, that kind of example. So, of course, I'm pretty sure Vince, Paul Levesque called Callis, hey, look, hey, pal, I mean, we're doing it on Tuesdays. All right, there's something on Thursdays. I'll jump to Thursdays. Why not? So now you're going to be having a whole full week of professional wrestling. Monday Night Raw, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday AEW Dynamite, who won the war, that's theirs completely. Thursday, you have Impact, Friday, SmackDown. See, you have 5 days worth of professional wrestling besides Ring of Honor, MLW, so much content, ladies and gentlemen. And also wanted to jump as well, saying that Andrade, no complete cost. He can wrestle anywhere the hell he wants. I was hoping for him to show up on Ring of Honor today, but I guess it's not going to happen. But never say never. I'm going to keep an eye on Ring of Honor because it may happen.
Mention a bullet point about that, and we may not be seeing him anytime soon because of the unfortunate news about who has what. We'll probably keep him and her in quarantine until they're both cleared of the thing that we know about that we don't need to talk about.
Oh yeah, no,
unless you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but no, I think she's supposed to be clear by now.
There's still like I think you still have quarantine up to 2 weeks after your 3 positive tests in a row.
Yeah.
And they're obviously a couple, so I think he obviously safe bet is her rules or his rules.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 2 weeks isn't that long, so hopefully they both come out of this unscathed and Andrade goes exactly where he deserves, which is anywhere he wants.
Yeah, definitely. And now I want to touch, this is the last subject of the pro wrestling news I want to talk about. before we go to break and then go to part 2. This is the one that been all over social media, been talked about, the fact that a lot of people are not happy about it. Some is like, whatever, let's move on. Who cares?
Serious.
But that is Hulk Hogan hosting WrestleMania. That's the one that it's a touchy subject, but I want to get it.
Was the Titus thing a troll? Is that real?
No, Titus is also hosting. But the problem is that
okay, I wasn't sure if that was real or not.
No, it's real.
No, it's
damn real.
It's damn real. But yes, definitely it's damn real. But yes, you're gonna have Hogan and Titus hosting WrestleMania. The reason why I bring up the subject because remind you of Hogan's, what he said.
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
You don't need to go into that at all.
Yeah, a lot of the community is not happy about that. The fact is that you're pretty much, this is like a throw in the face to the community, and because you're having him hosting with Titus. Think about that. And then why are you having this man to host it after he still has not apologized for what he said? He apologized and he got caught, but he never apologized.
Oh, I know. That's the difference between guilt and shame.
Exactly. Indeed. So this is a lot of, like I said, Booker T made his comments. He's like, whatever's about it. Okay, it is what it is. I haven't heard anything from Mark. Haven't heard anything from anyone else. But I mean, other people say it's appalling because you're putting this man with another, with a black man. And you're also, not only that, you have people, talents that are performing at Mania, that are main eventing. And, in the community as well. And it's like a throw in the fucking face. Like, it's I don't know what Vince is. I don't know who the hell told Vince to do this. I'm not bashing on Hogan's career.
It's
probably Vince told Vince, right? Hey, of course, I'll just do it. I'm not saying, not hating on Hogan's career at all. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his persona, what he did and what he said that he never apologized for. That's the one thing that I disagree, that he should not be hosting WrestleMania. That's how I feel. Me personally should not be hosting. This is like a throw in the face to that community and to myself as well. All of us, my opinion. So I'll go with you, Money Mike. Take it away.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm as forgiving as the next guy. But they have to know, or Vince, I guess this is directly a Vince thing. Vince has to know that what was said hurt a lot of people, including employees of your company, right? I always remember MVP saying that, he said something, and I'll leave it at he said something along the lines of that, he doesn't like people that look like me. And that sort of thing really, really hurts. Especially for someone that stood for such good stuff as Hogan did, right? And then this is not Hogan going to the NWO. This is real life. So, it hurt a lot of people, and I really, really don't think that it was a good move for him to host. I'm not saying that he's not able to make a living and to make appearances. A backstage segments or an in-ring segment would have been fine, by me. He's done it before. But man, as host and purposely putting him with Titus, I think that there's they're trying to do something here, and I don't know. It was not a good move.
All right, Matt.
It's once again one of those things where Vince McMahon can keep whatever kind of wacky people, hated people he wants. It's really like when you're a billionaire, you really do whatever you want and piss like whoever you want off, and it's a sad reality. And it just means that more people need to leave the sinking ship that is WWE.
I love that.
This is a good more like just add this to your list of reasons why WWE is not good and why you should leave and why you should quit. I agree.
Don't
expect Vince to change his mind for you. You know, if Vince puts the belt on Lars, whatever his face is, he'll probably do it because he's got
ratings.
money.
It's good stuff. It's ratings. Yeah.
Yeah. If Vince makes that decision, it'll happen. If he wants it to happen, it's gonna happen. It's Vince. Yeah. When you're a billionaire, and if you don't like it, you should leave and join AEW and help them out instead. It'll be better. You know, that's like for those who this upsets, you should support AEW.
Director.
All right, so I'm going to try to keep this as coherent as possible. The only people that should have, I would say, an opinion about this are those truly affected by it. We know that is the community that were offended by these terrible statements from humankind to another human, not just race, none of this. It was appalling that he just thought that even in a casual private conversation, the words that were spoken were cool. Because that's someone who probably not the first or last time that those words were spoken in the privacy and conversation of whatever it was. It just happened to be in a phone call that he didn't know was being wiretapped. This is a gigantic slap in the face of the accomplishments of the past 2 years that community has gone through and earned. This WrestleMania is the first WrestleMania where 3 out of the 4 performers in the main events are African American. Mm-hmm. And it's not been since The Rock since we've had an African American headline WrestleMania. So we have Bobby Lashley, Sasha Banks,
Bianca Belair,
the EST, Bianca Belair. Now throwing Titus in there. I don't know if this is one of those stupid things that people do to hide their internal opinions. I can't offend this particular race. Look, I'm best friends with someone from that race. I don't know if this is trying to bury his history by burying him amongst people in that race so we forget about it, but we're not. History isn't going to forget someone like, I think Mike had said, stood for so much growing up. You know, all the little Hulksters and Hulkheads, drink your vitamins, eat your prayers, say your diamonds, or throw your diamonds, whatever it was. I don't care. Those words mean nothing
bright
to me
like
now.
A diamond.
Yeah, like those words literally mean nothing to me now that I know that it was just a character who doesn't believe in any of it because he's someone in the privacy of his own home is willing to do something like that. The word integrity comes to mind, and the definition of integrity is doing what's right even when nobody is looking. But we're all looking, and to put him in this spot that here's what we're talking about. We're talking about Hogan's racist remarks, not 3 out of the 4 members of the community headlining WrestleMania. This should not be the debate we're having. We should be talking about, and we had this conversation with Culture Inc., how much work they had to do to get to where they are now. Them as a tag team, the New Day crushing the stereotypes, crushing the glass ceiling. Bobby Lashley, 11 years to get to that title. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks headlining. Titus should be doing this by himself. He can do it by himself, but Vince McMahon's looking at either trying to help Hogan as a buddy favor to hide his racist history, or he's accepting that he's racist, but he's larger than life, so we're doing it for the dollars, which is almost worse. Hogan should be nowhere near this pay-per-view. This is like putting someone who's transphobic in Gay Pride Parade as the MC. It doesn't make any sense. That's the only comparison I can think of. Like Matt said, there's fuck you money at hand right here. Vince can do whatever he wants, and if you don't tune in because Hogan's watching it, Vince isn't losing any money, and he obviously doesn't care about the communities that he's quote-unquote trying to support, but then bashing them by putting Hogan in there. I can't make any sense out of it other than dollars. And
the sense is Vince only cares about Vince. That's it.
Exactly. And that's the best way I can put it. It's tasteless. And to say that it doesn't matter how racist you are, as long as you make me a bunch of money and are larger than life, it's cool, says a lot about Vince. And a lot of, there's been other instances that they've taken care of situations like that. We don't have to bring up names because it's not what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. But he's cut ties with them very quickly. But we know it's because they didn't make him as much money as Hogan. So we all know that that's where it comes down to. It doesn't matter what you do or what you say. Just give them the checks. Okay. And yeah, dude, like it's just one more reason to just – the company can't look at like the stock shareholders, the board, like they have to look at this and be like, that's not cool, bro. Like, we know you have $1 billion, but also there's 6 billion people on this planet who disagree with you.
Yeah.
And that's my after school special right there. But I firmly believe that.
Definitely. And we don't, yeah. I mean, there's still plenty of time. This could be subject to change maybe, but obviously it's not. By the looks of it, it's already been done, settled, sealed the deal. It is. But I mean, if there is, by God, if there's a petition, which I'm not being surprised if there is, I mean, of course, I'll sign up for it too, personally.
Yeah, change.org.
Yeah.
You can actually get things done on change.org. Yeah. There might already be a petition up there, but people listen to change.org. Companies who have something sketchy decisions, enough people can get on change.org, and a company will listen to the people who have an opinion that matters.
Yeah.
So if someone out there wants to start a change.org to pull Hogan, he's got enough money, and his comments don't warrant him.
He's broke, actually. Here. He's broke.
Oh yeah. Well, no, got that. He's got that Gawker money.
That's the only thing he has.
That's like $80 million, bro.
He owns this restaurant in Florida.
That half went to his wife, ex-wife. The divorce.
Whatever. He was the one that was. Well, she was technically cheating on him, but
she cheated on him.
That's a different subject. That's a different thing. Still, I had no sympathy for the man.
No.
There's no dollar amount you could say that he deserves to get from this pay-per-view that is banking all of the money off of that community.
Agreed.
All the money they're giving, definitely going to give him at least seven figures. Why?
Yeah, it makes no sense either.
Split that up evenly amongst everyone on that roster.
Honestly, it should have been Naomi and Titus. They're both from Tampa. I mean, honestly, they're both from Tampa.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Why the hell not? That should have happened.
I'm going to try and make it change.org, switch out Hogan for Naomi. I'm actually going to do that probably tonight. Like,
send me the link.
Yeah.
Send me the link.
It is 9:44, March 25th, Thursday. So timestamp it. I'm going right now.
There you go. For Naomi. The end.
Circle of debate making change.
That's right. We're here.
You're doing the Clinton thumb.
That's right.
Absolutely.
We fight for you because remind you. I mean, come on, man.
It's just what we feel is right.
I agree.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't like it either. Personally, I don't. Everybody, I appreciate all your valid points because they're all valid, 100% all of them. And I hope you guys feel this as well, ladies and gentlemen, to our viewers and subscribers. And this is all jokes aside, but definitely, yes, we're all appalled against it. You know, like Chris said it himself very clearly, it's not about the ethnicity we have. We're all one. We're all human beings. It's just when you say something like that, you hurt everyone like us. And that bothers us. Definitely. And so that's something that he should not be there. Not at all. So hopefully this petition goes out and hopefully they change the damn mind. Their damn mind. I mean, they did it with Moolah. When they had the Moolah Battle Royal, they had to change it to the women's one. We could do this with Hogan. So definitely we can make a change. So if you guys want to actually sign for that petition that Chris is starting, it'll be right below
right now.
Yeah, the description link will be right below, and put your petition in that you do not want Hogan to be hosting WrestleMania. So, for that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Stay tuned for part 2 as we go ahead and discuss for New Japan News, NXT, and Mike and I and Matt giving thoughts about Fastlane and what's going on in WWE. But also, the huge announcement that everybody wants to see is coming right after this. So do not go anywhere. So after this part 1 is over, the big announcement for the details of the giveaway. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, especially for all you Memphis fans out there, Memphis, Tennessee, would you like to be a part of history for Championship Wrestling from Memphis? As on April 11th, they will be crowning their first ever Memphis World Heritage Champion. And we have 2 tickets to give away, ladies and gentlemen. You're able to go ahead and participate. So I'm going to allow the CK1 to give you details of how to enter this raffle.
All you do to qualify is leave a hashtag CW30 in the comment section below and be sure to like and subscribe.
Enter by April 1st by 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to spin the wheel of debate to decide the winners by April 2nd.
We'll be announcing the winners on April 2nd during our 48th episode.
And that is right. And do not forget to also follow Championship Wrestling from Memphis as they have your weekly shows Saturdays at noon Central Time. and also us as well, Circle Debate, every Fridays and weekly episodes, and on Sundays our top 5. So make sure you participate. Make sure you put that hashtag below. You don't want to miss it, and especially you want to be a part of this history.